all eyes around the state, around the country, around the world are on the Indiana Fever. And Bria, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Caitlin Clark just accomplished something in 41 games that took Diana Taurasi 565 games to achieve. Let that sink in. The rookie to sophomore leap we're witnessing might be unprecedented in professional basketball history.
There it is! A triple.
While everyone's talking about her triple-double, there are actually 11 records from that game that were broken by Clark and the Indiana Fever. I've analyzed every minute of the Fever's demolition of the Chicago Sky, and what I found will leave you speechless. Caitlin Clark's triple-double was just the beginning of a night that changed the WNBA record books forever. If you're rocking with Indiana, comment, I've got the Fever down below. Let's go.
Having the Fever organization be what it is today, like, it is just so fun to be a part of. There's been a lot of anticipation.
You've done a great job in training camp leading to this moment. Enjoy it. Okay, go out there and have some.
While everyone's eyes were locked on Caitlin Clark that night, something truly historic happened that almost flew under the radar. Dana Bonner walked onto the court just 7 points away from basketball immortality. Think about that: 15 years of professional excellence, thousands of buckets, and now standing at the doorstep of becoming the third highest scorer in WNBA history.
Bonner is the fourth all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. And in her first game with the Fever, will likely move into third all-time. She's currently just 6 points behind Tina Thompson for third on the all-time scoring charts.
Would anyone even notice this milestone with all the Fever mania happening? That's the question that hung in the air as the game against Chicago began. Bonner has been putting the ball in the basket since 2009, steadily climbing the scoring ranks. Through stints with Phoenix, Connecticut, and now Indiana, and here she was just 7 points away from passing Tina Thompson on the all-time list.
Bonner, who knocks it away, cookies, TV, open court, right side, and she lays it in!
The moment finally arrived in the final quarter. Bonner was sent to the free throw line to hit 2 shots. The first one swished, tying the record in front of an adoring crowd. The second one pushed her past 7,488 career points, making her just the third player in the 28-year history of the WNBA to reach this scoring summit.
One more free throw for Bonner. It's in the air, and it's good. Joanna Bonner now third in WNBA history in scoring. 7,489 points and counting. And here's the ovation for Bonner.
What makes Bonner's achievement even more special is how she's transformed the Fever's culture. This isn't just some aging star chasing personal glory. She's a 6-time All-Star with 2 championships who brings winning DNA to a young roster desperate for guidance. When she speaks in the locker room, players like Clark Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hall listen.
You know, DB is somebody that, you know, is a Hall of Famer, like a legend, not only a good basketball player, a great person, a great leader. You know, the strongest voice in our locker room is hers, and it's fun to have been around here now for about a month just to get to learn from her and soak it in, and I'm really happy she got to do it at the free throw line and all the fans could go crazy and cheer for her because she certainly deserved that moment, and it was really awesome to see and be a part of.
The Indiana crowd gave her a standing ovation when the PA announcer shared the milestone. It proved that even in this era of viral highlights and young superstars, basketball fans still recognize greatness that spans decades. Bonner's climb to become the third all-time leading scorer wasn't just a personal achievement. It set the tone for what would become a night of record-breaking performances. Now Bonner has only Tina Charles ahead of her at 96 points for the second spot on the all-time list, but as impressive as her achievement was, the night was just getting started. Another Fever star was about to remind everyone why Indiana's future looks so frighteningly bright. Remember when people questioned if Aaliyah Boston could truly dominate, especially against fellow South Carolina alum Camilla Carter-Doso, who stands at 6'7". Those critics got their answer in the most emphatic way possible against the Chicago Sky.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good. And when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
Boston entered her third season with something to prove. She wasn't just looking to be a great player. She wanted to establish herself as a franchise cornerstone, alongside Clark, the duo that would power Indiana for the next decade, the foundation of something special brewing in Indianapolis. The Chicago front court came in full of themselves. Angel Reese had been talking all week about how she planned to dominate the paint against Boston Instagram posts and press conferences. Even in warm-ups, Reese made it clear she thought she'd own the matchup. Boston's response was a defensive masterclass that left jaws on the floor. 5 blocks that sent Sky players' shots flying into the stands, the kind of rejections that had fans jumping out of their seats and pointing at the scoreboard. Each time Reese went up for a shot, Boston seemed to be right there waiting. Boston's defensive dominance moved her to 6th in blocks in Fever history. Those 13 rebounds weren't just impressive, they were historic. The performance moved Boston to 8th in rebounds in Fever franchise history in just her 3rd season. Think about that, players have been grabbing boards for the Fever for decades, and Boston is already in the top 10 all-time. The combination of 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks put Boston in truly rare air. She became only the 2nd player ever in WNBA history with 15-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and 5-plus blocks in a season opener, the first being Natasha Howard. Back in 2014, that's exclusive company for any player, let alone one in just her 3rd year. Those 13 rebounds weren't just impressive, they were historic. The performance moved Boston to 8th in rebounds in Fever franchise history in just her 3rd season. Think about that. Players have been grabbing boards for the Fever for decades, and Boston is already in the top 10 all-time. The combination of 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks put Boston in truly rare air. She became only the 2nd player ever in WNBA history with 15-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and 5-plus blocks in a season opener, the first Natasha Howard back in 2014. That's exclusive company for any player, let alone one in just her 3rd year.
Yes, great job of those long arms of the Leah Boston here, going up multiple times, and then
The Clark to Boston connection showed perfect chemistry all night. Clark kept finding her big for easy buckets, a high-low pass here, a perfectly timed bounce pass there. Meanwhile, Boston kept protecting the rim like it contained state secrets. Every time Chicago thought they had a lane to the basket, Boston slammed the door shut. While Reese did manage 17 rebounds, her offensive game suffered terribly. She shot just 5 for 14 from the field, struggling to score over Boston's perfectly timed contests. The much-hyped matchup turned into a clinic on defensive positioning and timing.